back on the air. My name is Jeffrey Davis. I'm host of Radio Entrepreneurs, and I want to thank our hosts this week. We are airing all week from the accounting firm and the partner for Radio Entrepreneurs of Gray, Gray. My co-host today, big upgrade from Rich Hershen, is Kelly Berardi.
Thank you.
I knew just what to say. Our next guest is Sean Tracy and Luke Peters. I guess they're partners from Grafton Studio.
That's right. Thanks for having us.
Great. Tell us about Grafton.
So Grafton Studio is a web agency. We're based in Harvard Square. So we build custom web applications and websites. Clients vary from 1-2 person startups to larger companies. Recently we've done some work with Harvard's History Design Studio, MIT Age Lab, some front-end work for Google. So yeah, nice variety of clients and projects.
How did you all get together and become partners?
So Sean and I used to work together at an agency in Boston called Boston Interactive, and we worked there for about 1.5 years. And then I left and started working I worked at a few different startups, and then out of another company, and then decided to start freelancing. And then did that for about 6 months, but in the meantime, Sean and I started working on a project separately. And then from there, we took on a few more clients and decided to do it full time.
Excellent.
Well, give us some of your background.
Well, I'm originally from Dublin, Ireland. Actually, I was born in Rhode Island, but moved to Dublin.
Oh, wow.
And grew up there. Did all my schooling there, and moved over to Boston. Probably a couple of years after college. I was working in a public relations agency back in Dublin for those couple of years, and then transitioned into the digital side of things, which very much enjoyed when I moved over. And that's when I met this guy. And as Luke said, we started off Grafton Studio about 2.5 years ago.
I always like to look at talk to people with international experience. Anything from Dublin that you think you learned that was unique that you brought to this market?
His accent.
Yeah. Besides, there's definitely a lot of differences in kind of work culture. I find the American work culture to be very positive, which I actually really enjoy because I feel like it creates great teamwork. So I think that was something that was definitely super evident when I moved over. I suppose the one thing maybe that Irish people are kind of renowned for is just being brutally honest, and maybe that's one thing that I've brought over. We don't kind of beat around the bush at all.
You didn't kiss a Blarney Stone?
I didn't, because I know what happens to the Blarney Stone after hours.
So again, a lot of people are in your field of business. So
Yeah.
if I were to work with you for 2 years, and Kelly were to meet with me and say, "Hey Jeff, you've been working with these guys over at Grafton for a couple of years. We see lots of these guys. What makes them different? What makes them special?"
Well, personally, I feel it's the quality of the work, especially on the coding front. There are a lot of agencies around Boston and the Cambridge area. But I suppose we come across more and more people who have had issues post-launch, and I suppose it's something to be super careful about when you are selecting an agency. It's just knowing exactly what kind of quality of work is going to come back.
Versus just going based on who's the biggest agency. I think one of the reasons that we decided that we really wanted to go and do this is we did work at another agency and then at some other startups, and when you have a big team and a lot of people, it's easy for details to kind of get lost in the mix. Not to put down these places do great work, but we wanted to be able to be that small team that could work with someone that really care about the details, and especially help other entrepreneurs, like small, one, 2-person companies, get their first version of their product out there. And that's something, they can't go to a big agency and get that. It will cost way too much. And they need someone to work with them, kind of sit in a room and brainstorm with them. So that's kind of the difference that we bring to the table, I think.